Hello, hi there. How are you doing? And I hope you're actually doing wonderfully well. Welcome to this week masterclass and episode. My name is Dr. Julius Oluwasegun Aroba, and I'm your wealth, entrepreneurship, career, mindset surgeon. In this week episode, I'm going to be talking about breaking the cycle of financial self-sabotage. Breaking the cycle of financial self-sabotage. Many people start the year by setting up a financial goals. They get excited about a lot of possibilities and they make plan. How am I going to be able to get from point A to point B? I want to save X amount of money. But no matter how hard they try, when it gets to the first quarter, second quarter, and third quarter, you find out that they're not even closer to the kind of goals themselves set for themselves. At the end of the day, they end up being sabotaged. How do you, if you want to be able to spend more time in breaking this financial self-sabotage, you don't need to save enough, or you don't avoid opportunities because of the fear of unknown. And most times, most people, they end up backward where they started from. In the second quarter, in the third quarter of the year. You find out that 6 months is gone. And 1 year is gone, apparently. And they feel so frustrated, they feel dejected, they feel discouraged and confused to why they can't seem to be able to break some of the financial struggle. But that is not a problem, friends, the fellow zillionaires that are in this week's masterclass. It's not a problem. I've come with something that can actually help you. And the real issue is that there are some invisible barriers, often rooted in limiting beliefs, and also that are holding you back. Perhaps it might be that there are some problems that you're not meant to solve at that time, that is meant to wait for you to go make more money. Then from the profits, you cannot be able to help in solving those problems. And there are some beliefs that are deeply ingrained in some people's subconscious mind based on the family genealogy they came from. And at the end of the day, you find out that in their subconscious mind, they have been shaped over time, over the years, based on the kind of words that come from their mouth, and they're not able to achieve their goals. You know, sometimes it's good for you to be able to set goals, but when you have a family, you come from a family where people do not actually have a positive vibes in terms of putting possibilities in front of everything, taking away self-belief and self-sabotage, and that creates a psychological effect and wall that makes them to also stop from achieving the wealth and financial freedom they desire. Remember, as an entity, as an organization in the zillionaires community, will help you to see how you can make, manage, and multiply your money, and also creating wealth that can help you to transpose you from point A to the point you desire in life. In this episode, there are a lot of things that we're going to give you in terms of practicality for you to be able to look into, and it is time for us to be able to break those barriers. The cycle of financial self-sabotage is a repetitive pattern that when you look at it, your father, perhaps your father was working as a night post officer or a night post staff, and you find out that the other person who is also, maybe you yourself, you now ended up working in the same organization. When you find out that you're not able to save, to break the cycle because of the mindset within your family. And some will say, you know what, because my dad worked in this organization, I must also continue in that same legacy, whereas they don't own that company. Now, that is another way of you saying you want to be able to break, but you can't break it because you still went the same genealogy, the same ideology that your parents went, same pattern that they repeat over the years. You also want to start repeating that. As a career person, as an entrepreneur, as someone who is determined to be able to break this cycle, you now need to do something new, something eventful, something that is quite innovative, so that you can have a financial success. And this starts by you reshaping your mind, going for the right seminar, going for the right conferences, picking the right book, change your association from where you were, maybe where you grew up from, people in that area. You've never seen somebody who is wealthy in that area. Or perhaps in your family, they always say when they see people who are wealthy to be people who do evil things or who are rich, they say they don't believe that you can actually make it. But this is an opportunity for you. I don't know the kind of belief that your family has actually ingrained into you over the years, that has spread sporadically, that has shaping you at 20, at 30, at 40, at 50 years old, 60 years old. You're still broke. It is not the problem of your parent, but you look like the decision you made when you were growing up. Remember, there are a few common signs of self-sabotaging. One of them is procrastination. You have known you need to save more, you need to budget better, or make smarter investments, but you keep putting it off. Say, oh, don't worry, I'm just going to go for this. And you start spending the money by not having a self-discipline. I tell you, self-delayed gratification is one of those things that could actually help you in shifting your procrastination. If you are determined, you have to have some principle around this so that you will not be saying, I'll do it next week, I'll do it next year, I'll do it next month. Remember, you set a financial markup for yourself to be able to get to point A to point B. For example, during the week, I was having a conversation with one of my mentees, and he said, this is a plan of what he wants to do, and we brought those goals down. I said, okay, if you're relocating to the US, apparently you've got to save X amount of money. You don't want to go into the circle of mortgage. You want to be able to see so that you can buy those things cash in hand. At the end of the day, you save yourself some time, energy, and money. And he said, okay, that is a very good advice. How do I start? I said, okay, in what year, in what month? How many kids do you have? When you are relocating, what are the things you need to do? You don't want to end up to say, okay, when I get to the United States, or when you get to the United Kingdom, you want to go onto the property ladder because people actually go on credit score. It's not something that I always advise, but it's something that you can actually look for by starting on a very solid note. I don't know what family you're born into. Procrastination has led them to where they were. Look at your life, how you've been, and where you've been from now to time. Do you see that procrastination is one of those eating elements to your life? Number two is avoiding financial conversation. Some people, when you're talking about finances, they want to talk about, oh no, we don't want to talk about, they're afraid to discuss about money. Because their family, they don't discuss about money, whether with a partner or with their friends or their career person or entrepreneur, or even within themselves, they don't discuss about finance. Finance is very, very hard for them to discuss as an entity. They are the kind of people that live from hand to mouth. People that want to wear expensive things. When you talk about budgeting, they don't have that in theirs. You might feel shame, guilt, or anxiety whenever the topic of money comes in. Friends, hey, come here. Come closer. I don't know. Clef, come closer. Craig, come closer. Claire, come closer. Chinedu, come closer. Mbali, come closer. Now, Anele, come closer. Financial is very, very important for you to be able to discuss. Finance is important. You don't have budget for all of these things. How are you going to be able to get to where you want to get to? If you start avoiding all these things, remember, it only prolongs the financial struggles that you have in not addressing those head issues. Avoidance is a powerful form of self-sabotage, and that's what I call avoiding financial growth. Number three is overspending. I don't know. Do you know, you watching me, listening to this episode, do you know that when you don't budget your life, when you keep spending and spending and spending, living from credit to credit, and you're not investing into something that can be for future, do you know that your old age is knocking closer? Your business is going to fold up. Do you know that? Despite knowing the savings, that saving money is important, you often find yourself overspending. You go to club, you go to party. When they want to do anything in your area, you are the first person to go on the boats. They want to wear all white. Greg, are you listening to what I'm saying? You know what? By the time you do these things, yes, I want to please my friend, I want to please my associate, I want to please this. You go on credits to go for party. You buy the clothes, they call you for cake, you do all those things. Whereas you're not planning your life, overspending, buying an expensive luxurious items, shoes that you're going to wear for just few periods. You want to spend thousands of money for that. Remember, there's going to be a stage where you're going to be able to do that. Imagine if the richest man in Africa or the richest man in America wears Louis Vuitton, eats Versace foods, or dress all those things, do you think they'll be able to save? When they look at you from head to toe, you are always wearing brands. You are known for brands. Real money, come, I'll tell you, real money does not make noise. That thing that you've been having appetite towards can actually be saved for the future. Remember, if you don't checkmate yourself now, according to the chessboard, you will be shanked out of the game. This pattern, you need to start reflecting on your subconscious belief. You don't need to save. They say that money is meant to stay in your, that money is not meant to stay in your hand. They say. That's what I call overspending. Every money that comes in goes out. Remember, another pandemic is going to be hitting very soon. Another new world is going to be creating very soon, but I don't know which one you're going to be. Now, I'll give you the fourth element, is self-doubt and imposter syndrome. Self-doubt and imposter syndrome. You might feel like you are not capable of managing your money properly, or that you don't deserve wealth. In your family, people don't even have money. They say, no, my father has never made, my grandfather has not done this. What does it cost you to have $1 million in the savings account for you? $1 million of that local currency in a business for you. You don't want to be doing charity when your family is not being saved. When yourself, you don't even have enough money to run that business. You don't even have 6 months of your finance saved that could save you when you lost that job. Remember, that job might be lost if you don't prepare on time. As an entrepreneur, you've got to forecast, you've got to work and have self-discipline so that you can take away all those negative bias. You might think about that I will never be rich, or financial success is for other people, or it is not for you. These feelings of self-doubt and imposter syndrome can prevent you from taking the necessary steps to create financial abundance you desire. Now, I'm sure with this little nugget of mine today, self-sabotaging of your finance is very, very important for you to be able to take away some of these things. Because if you don't do that now, you will still keep on repeating the same thing. You won't be able to break that cycle of financial self-sabotage. Because your lineage, nobody has been able to have things that nobody is wealthy in your family, and you are happy with it. If you continue like this, friends, fellow zillionaires, as millionaire community, we try to let you know that you've got to break that cycle. Nobody will break it for you. Your pastor, your imam, your mentor, they can't break it for you. But you've got to take these principles by making sure you start working on them. I hope you've actually been able to gain something much more meaningful today in this episode. Again, there is a book called The Wealth Code Rewiring that was written by Dr. Oluwasegun Julius Aroba and Dr. Eladi Aruna. I would advise you to go to www.juliusaroba.com and you go to shop where you find the books there. You can place an order for some of those books. And today, in our masterclass, what we've treated today is on the chapter 4. It's a secret I'm giving to you that we've applied it. We don't want to end up like our parents. We want to build generations. We want to build investment portfolios in different diversities. You want to be able to invest on the best planet where you can be able to say, you know what, when I'm 60, I know I don't need to be running up and down. I hope you've actually been able to learn something great today in this week masterclass. And I can't wait to see you again. Once again, my name is Dr. Julius Oluwasegun Aroba, the Wealth, Financial, Entrepreneurship, Career, Mind Surgeon. Until I come your way again in another masterclass, I'll see you again. Goodbye for now.